Right then, this is a quick walk around video for a really fabulous Honda Civic. Quite special, this one. It's a 1.6 SR diesel, facelift model, as you can see. The car's covered 63,000 miles. It's had just the one owner from new, who has serviced it each and every time at the Honda main dealers. A total of 9 services recorded on this one. It is a lovely, lovely car. It's not going to be the cheapest one out there, not meant to be, but as they say in life, you pay for what you get, and this is a really fabulous car. Come around the front, new style front end, looks fantastic on these cars. Did a really nice job on it. Lights and lenses clear and intact, there's no cracks or condensation there. Bonnet generally very clean. Obviously there's going to be the odd minor and light stone chips, but they are minor indeed. Near side of the car, really smooth in the panel work, no obvious car parking indentations. Near side front alloy, very nice. Same with the near side rear, and the near side the ones that tend to take most of the bashing because it's closest to the curb, of course. Come around the back, again, new style front end, smoked glass, diffuser at the bottom. They're all very subtle, but they really, really do look good on the car. And then off side of the car, driver's side, again, beautifully smoothed on the panels, really crisp. Outside rear alloy again, very good for the age. Main panel work, really, really nice. Final alloy again, very good indeed. You know, there's going to be, there always is, always will be on a car that's now 9 years old, the odd tiny little mark, but you'll have to look relatively hard to find one of these on this one. Coming to the back of the car now, absolutely cavernous boot. You can, and the lower section there, you can drop down another 8 to 9 inches to give you extra boot depth as well. Civics are family cars, and normally the backs and the rear seats are normally heavily used. Nothing to do with build quality, yet this one's been kept really nicely. It's coming into the back now. The leatherwork in the car is absolutely stunning. Don't normally look like this after this period of time, and with the use they normally have. The front passenger side, full set of original Honda mats in the car. Passenger seat looks as though literally it's hardly ever been sat on. Finally, just to show you, owners, so the door card on the driver's side there. Getting ahead of myself. Footwell areas again, really nice. The driver's seat again for the age is superb. You're a bit aware on the bolsters, you just slide it in and out, but tiny by comparison to most of this age. So inside the car now, as always I have the engine running, so the dash is illuminated. Absolutely stunning interior in the Civic. Everything working perfectly. Sat nav, as you can see, working exactly as it should. Pop the car into reverse, you can see the rear parking camera, which complements the front and rear parking sensors on the car. Down, it's just been kept absolutely beautifully, and that is the view you get as a driver on a Honda Civic. It really is stunning, and you should set your driving position so basically, as you can see there, the steering wheel is halfway between the top of the rev counter and the speedo, but sensational. As you can see, engine's running. There's no warning lights on the dashboard at all related to the engine. Any other part of the car, the little orange light that you see illuminated at the top initially, that goes out after about 30 seconds. It just checks the airbag system. 63,642 miles. It really is a very special car, this one. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.6 SR diesel. This car's registered FY15YKM or XM, quite can't read that. Mileage is 63,636. The reason we do these videos, very simply, is because we want to make sure that if anyone's online looking at any of our cars, they get to see that very car actually in operation. We've always felt it important, simply because, like far too many people, we've been to see cars, travelled a long way, only to find out when you get there there's an obvious fault that shows up, which can be hugely frustrating, and we're well aware of that. So coming to the car itself, pretty much perfect ownership on the car, and it's obvious when you drive it, because not wishing to spoil the whole video, but it literally drives like a brand new car. which is a horrible cliche, but in this case it's merited. One private owner from new, serviced all the way through by the main Honda dealerships, and I think from memory I think it was 7 services or 9 services, something ridiculous. But coming to the car, twist the key, engine starts instantly, settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all whilst the engine's running, relating to the engine or any other part of the car for that matter. Temperature gauge running at a third, and the car's been driving for nearly 3 hours, literally just been delivered to us. No warning lights on the dashboard anywhere, so all in fine fettle. These are simply brilliant diesel engines. Honda are masters at engine building, always have been, and this is a cracking engine in every way. It's got all the trademark qualities that you get from Honda, with good regular maintenance, and it's certainly had it up to this point. You could expect them to last a long time and be very reliable. They're cam chain driven, no cam belts to worry about in them, but almost more than that, it's just such a very, very pleasurable engine to use. You can't get away from the fact that it is a diesel at low speed, because even a Honda can't engineer that out. But on the move, it's smooth, it's quiet, it's punchy, picks up and goes, but very, very economical. I've owned numerous of these over the years, even doing not particularly good sort of short trips, which isn't conducive to getting good economy. I'd be getting sort of high 50, 60 to the gallon. Longer trips, easily over 70, and it comes relatively easy to the car as well. Engine then feeds through into the clutch and gearbox. Clutch in the car, absolutely perfect. Bike point exactly where it's meant to be. It's nice and smooth in operation. Gearbox, an object lesson to other manufacturers in how to do a good gearbox, because it's simply brilliant. It feels exactly what it is, just beautifully engineered. The gear changes, the synchro mesh have a substantial high quality feel to them. They're crisp, the engagement's lovely. You can't get lost in the gearbox, just the springing across is perfection, absolute perfection, and it feels like it would have done when it was new. There's just zero slack in it at all. And coming onto the steering and chassis of the car, which has always been my favourite part of the Civics, the car tracks dead straight. There's no vibrations all the way up to the speed limit, national speed limit here. But it's just such a really pleasant car, because it does genuinely manage to do 2 things very well, which is actually incredibly hard to achieve. If you basically just want the Civic for a good family car to get you from A to B reliably and comfortably, it does it brilliantly well. However, if, like a few of us still out there, you still enjoy your driving and you want something that's got a bit of kind of get up and go, a bit of vigour about it, it does that as well, and very well indeed. The steering is really nicely weighted. It's quick, it's positive, it's pinpoint accurate, and it works beautifully with the chassis of the car. They work together fantastically well. So when you go through corners, you get very little body roll unless you're really pushing on hard. But when you do go through corners, it just flows beautifully. So like corners here, pick your points on the way in, and then again come right here. It's just so wonderfully capable in the way it deals with everything, but it's good fun to drive, really is. Incidentally, there's no clonks, no rattles at all from the suspension. All feels tight as a drum, and the brakes are superb on the car. No pulsing, no vibrations. It's all in fine order. And then we come to the interior of the car, which videos cannot get across build quality, of course. Worth pointing out, not a squeak, not a rattle from the interior. They are beautifully put together cars, and in my eyes, the best dash design in its class by a country mile. Not just because of the way it looks, which is an opinion, but what isn't an opinion is it all works brilliantly ergonomically. The most conventional part is this centre stack here, as you get in lots of cars, but done rather nicely on the Hondas as always. Garmin based sat nav, very simple, works very well. Dual zone climate control system, so you can have different temperatures side to side if you really want to, and that's pumping out absolutely ice cold air, by the way. And then you've got your heated seat button further down as well. all of the switchgear, everything you press has a lovely high quality damped feel to the controls. It's really nicely done. But my favourite part is this two-tier design, because the upper deck is the information you look at most regularly, and the one you should look at most regularly, of course, is your speed. There it is, all by itself, white on black, digital, big and bold. I can look at the car in front and look at my speed at exactly the same time. It is simply genius in the way that works. Down below that, you've got a more conventional pod of 3 dials, a rev counter in the middle, flanked either side by temperature and fuel gauges. It just looks so good. It really does. And then finally, you got this lovely chunky leather-bound steering wheel. We have not cleaned it yet, but in all honesty, it doesn't need cleaning. It's so well kept in here. So hats off to its last owner. He's kept it absolutely beautifully. Worth pointing out, can't find a single fault with the car driving it.